Welcome to the Leading at the Next Level podcast with Dove Development and Consulting, the show built to provide ongoing support for your leadership journey. Now, before we move into today's lesson, let's make sure we're on the same page. We've seen firsthand how much is required to provide authentic leadership to a team rather than to simply manage based on the authority that comes with a title or position. What we've learned through more than 50 combined years of leadership responsibility is that taking those extra steps to serve people and earn influence always produces better results than barking orders ever will. And if you stick with us to the end of the episode, we'll share how you can get a complimentary trial to a resource that we've built that's like nothing else you've seen. Now, with that in mind, let's get to work. This episode is the second in a series on developing a mentorship mindset. In this episode, I have some questions for you. Questions so you can discover for yourself if a mentor would be beneficial for you. And I'll share disciplines that best mentors have. Okay, here we go. Leading at the Next Level podcast. So here's a few questions to help you find out. Would you like to have a trusted and experienced person to bounce ideas off of? Another question is, are you making a transition or considering a transition, or maybe recently had one and would like access to a proven leader in making successful transitions with a mentor that has a powerful track record of helping others do the same? Another reason to have a mentor is answering the question, if you answered yes, are you in a new role with responsibility for leading yourself and others well? And two more. Are you a business owner, CEO, or high-level executive who would benefit from brainstorming and problem solving around issues that leaders in your position face? And then lastly, and these are just a few, there's many questions to help you figure that out, but are you considering launching a new venture or expanding a current one and are seeking expertise you don't already have? So if you answered yes to one or more of these, then like the quote on your slide says, a mentor who has your best interests at heart and is further ahead in you in mindset and or an area that you would like to be more successful in would be a priceless benefit to you. Now, let's get into those disciplines for a mindset of mentorship. The very first discipline says that mentorship mindset has a passion for growth. It's a guarantee that we can really take to the bank. And as John says, growth is the only guarantee that tomorrow is better than today. So we want that guarantee, don't we? And to get that guarantee, we have to grow. Earl Nightingale says, if you challenge, I'm sure you've heard this, if you challenge yourself to grow an hour a day for 5 years, you will be an expert in that area. I can tell you that's true because I've done that over and over and over in different areas. So how are you growing an hour each day? And are you reading? Are you listening? What areas are you growing in? So think into these things, and also which areas do you want to grow in? When Wes and I started a personal growth plan, it was the year 2001. A lot of things happened in the year 2001 for us. We really got some launching points. But it started with a leadership book. And I believe Wes read it first. And the more he told me about it, the more I wanted to read it too. And when he was done, I read it and I got just as much energy that I saw him getting from reading it as he was learning it and sharing some things about it. So then I understood this energy around the content as I was experiencing that. And what we were learning was absolutely true, yet we had never learned this type of information before and wish we had known it so much earlier. And it was based on leadership principles with very interesting stories. It was a book that was hard to put down, and everything just made sense and immediately raised our leadership awareness. That book was The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell. And we were hungry for more after reading the content of that book and attended a few leadership events to hear from leaders that we wouldn't otherwise have access to. And when we heard John from stage, we started in his mentorship series that I mentioned earlier. And for the next decade, we were mentored by John right from our car and through books, but right from our car through those cassette tapes that I mentioned. And then, remember if you're old enough, remember CDs, and then I think MP3s came along. Remember those? And now we have, podcasts and other things. But plus the in-person events and special sessions afterward, where we could have small group sessions around him and other speakers that we went to hear. And still today, with other mentors who are mostly at distance at this point, yet we're able to be in person with them from time to time as well. And of course, I still have the mentorship calls on Zoom sessions with Mark Cole and other people. But mentorship changed everything for us. And it continues to. And it's why this lesson is so important for us to provide. And more importantly, this platform that we provide as mentorship to everyone on here now and listening and to others. So as you start or continue this process of growing every day, guarantee you if you truly are looking to grow, and I believe everyone here is, that's why you're here, you'll become hungry for growth. And the more you grow, the more the hungrier you'll become. And this is what happens too. Time that you don't know you have will open up to you to make your growth happen. You'll find time that you otherwise were not accessing, or were filling with something that doesn't matter as much to you as growth does. Has anyone ever asked you, hey, what is your growth plan? Because we should really never stop asking ourselves that question or answering that question. What is my growth plan? If you haven't asked yourself this lately or readily know what it is because you're living it out, if we're living it out, we can, pop off a few things at least, then ask, what is your plan for growth? And really, how can you make growing your lifestyle? Because a mentoring mindset has a passion for growth, and it takes action on that then to ensure that growth happens. Number two is that mentorship always adds value to others. So whether you are the mentor or the mentee, you should be adding value to the other. So the value should be flowing each way. And on your slide here, it is a responsibility in each of these relationships to be a value adder, and that's Mark Cole. One piece of this is coming back to the fact that leaders should be that river, not a reservoir, right? That's what this whole lesson is around. Well, we have got to have a river mentality, and having a river mentality, having that mentality that we're going to grow and it's going to flow through us, will always require something of you. It'll cost the mentor and it'll cost the mentee. And always, any progress is determined by the price point. So we have to be willing to pay a price to move forward. And anything worthwhile is uphill. I think we've all heard that too, and that is so true. It'll cost you longer. It'll cost you more than you ever think it will to grow and realize that the person that you want to be and the goals and ambitions that you shoot for. And progress is determined by the price that we are willing to pay and that we actually take action on to pay. There's a story I want to share with you. I don't know if the name Angela Ahrendts is familiar to you, so I'll add in a few things about her. But Angela spoke for one of our annual events, our Live to Lead event, a few years back. So we had the pleasure of hearing from her, and Angela was the senior vice president of Apple, specific to the retail division, and later the CEO of Burberry, among other leadership accomplishments. But she had incredible success at Apple Retail, and for sake of time, I won't go into her successes that she had here, but they were phenomenal. And that's why she was speaking on the Live to Lead stage. But during this event, Angela was asked about this idea of giving and this knowledge and mentorship flowing through, and what that really meant to her, and specific about giving in relationships. She shared a story about her dad. And Angela describes her dad as being a dad that worked 80 hours a week just to feed her and her family. And she remembers him mostly being around on the weekends. Yet she also shared many instances of lifelong wisdom that she gained from him, in the many ways that he ensured that he spent quality time with her and each of her three sisters as they were growing up, And they also remember him spending quality time with their mom and how important that was. So, a word of wisdom that she shared from her dad, which she calls dadisms, which I really like, that really applies here, was when he told Angela that in life to always remember to value others. And a part of that was to always give 60 and take 40. In other words, to always give of yourself to others and in all you do more than you ever take. So we'll call that the give 60, take 40 rule that I have on your slide here. Another way to show you value someone is to be present with them. John says if you genuinely value someone, you will find ways to be present with them, believe in them, and encourage them. And this should also demonstrate your value of them in a way that they can really see and feel. The people in our life and leadership, they're truly asking three questions of us. And I had this conversation with a gentleman that came to an event we were at today, and he exemplified this in the example he was giving me of how he led his people. And then I shared this with him. And it's that people in your life and leadership are looking for three things from you. Can this leader, can this individual help me? Do they demonstrate that they care for me? Are you helping them grow? Are you helping them learn and succeed? And can I trust them? So they really are looking for, can this person lead me? Do they care about me? And can I trust them? And when leaders intentionally add value to the people they value, then they're modeling and establishing a culture that multiplies value to others and including their customers and partners. So it really flows through them to their customers, to their partners, because they're treating their people that way, and that flows on to their customers and partners. So to have a mentoring mindset, you've got to always add value to others. And I'll add, to have the correct mindset around this is to believe this is an opportunity and not a task to accomplish. Do you see adding value to others as something to do, or are you treating it as something that you have to do? Are you treating it as like a task to check off? Are you approaching it as an opportunity to make a difference for other people and to really be a driving force in your organization by adding value to others? Thanks for listening to the Leading at the Next Level podcast. Next time, we'll pick up where we left off by digging into what demonstrates success in the areas of mentorship. If you'd like to go deeper into anything that we've shared here, or you need continuing education credits for your professional credential, send us an email at admin@dove-development.net, and we'll be happy to hook you up with a 45-day all-access trial of our complete Leading at the Next Level program at no cost. The full program includes access to well over 100 hours of digital lessons, complete with slides and action-based assessments to really help you capture measurable bottom-line improvements in your organization. These were created by both Wes and I. Many of them we have created and done together, and there's 2 live lessons each month with Q&A. So we can help you identify the specific action that you want to take to lead your team effectively. See you next time on the Leading at the Next Level podcast.